Hello, so I guess today I'm going to talk about a creepy supernatural experience I had once. We talked about that briefly in another video that I made, and somebody asked to share one specific weird thing that happened to me. So I've been thinking about that, and something that came in my mind was something that happened many years ago. My family's also from West Virginia, and we went down to my grandma's house because my grandfather had passed away, and we were staying at her house. And my grandpa used to collect oil lamps, like the old-fashioned oil lamps that had oil in it that you had to light. They had the wick and everything. And he had two huge stands in the living room that were filled with oil lamps, but they were never lit, or nobody ever used them. They were just there, they were collected, and yeah, they were just there. So we were down there for the funeral, and it was me, my brother, my dad, my mom, my grandma, and that was it in the house. And we'd been there most of the day. And we were sitting there, and where the oil lamps were, the TV, it was the same wall that the TV was, so all the furniture was pointing in that direction. So we're sitting there watching television, me, my brother, and my dad, and it started getting darker out, and it was that time of the day when it's not quite nighttime yet, and it's not quite dark out yet, so you kind of like don't turn the lights on yet. And we're watching TV, and all of a sudden I noticed that one of the oil lamps is lit. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. I think I was I want to say I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, so like whatever age that is, like 13-ish or something. I can't really remember, but maybe I was younger than that. It might have been, no, that was probably about right. So anyways, I'm like, do you guys see that the oil lamp is lit? And everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, who lit the oil lamp? There's an oil lamp lit. And nobody thought it was a big deal at all. And I was like freaking out because, hello, my grandfather just died. These are his oil lamps. Who lit it? There's no way it could have happened because we were all sitting there. And if somebody would have lit the lamp, we would have seen them do it. 3 of us of the people that were staying there were only 2 more people, and they weren't even in the house, I don't think. So it was really weird. And finally my brother's like, well, big deal. If it is Grandpa, if a ghost did it, it's just Grandpa. And I'm like, yeah, that's still weird. So anyways, I've never gotten an explanation for that. It was totally strange. Weird other things involving my grandpa was, like, shortly after he died, I had a dream that I met him in a room and was talking to him, and afterwards, I don't remember anything that was said. I just remember sitting with him, and I think he was like dressed in white, and we were just in this plain room talking, but I don't remember anything that was said. And also, my mother, years later, she used to have dreams about him, and she kept having this dream where he was telling her to get rid of her car. And in the dream, she would always argue with him, saying, no, I like my car, I don't need a new car. And he would say, you need to get a new car. Well, not too long after that, she actually blacked out while she was driving, and her car went into a ravine and flipped upside down in the river. And it was very strange because that same day, like, instead of putting down her passenger window, instead of putting the driver's side window, she put down the passenger side window. And if she had done that the other way around, the water would have rushed into the car faster. And just a very strange, just weird, like, I have no explanation for that. I don't know what that is, but it's like odd. And also, when my grandmother was really sick, she said that every single day my grandpa would come through the wall dressed completely in white, sit at her side, never say a word to her, and would leave at the exact same time every day. And of course, most people were like, oh, she's just kind of sick and making this up. But it was just a very strange thing to me, considering, you know, the oil lamp thing, my dream, my mom's dream, and then my grandma saying the same thing. And it's not like we all sat around talking about it. These things happened very separately and didn't realize it until after the fact. So, like years later. So that's just one example, I guess, of sort of strange supernatural things that I experienced. So if you have any strange stories, share them with me. I love talking about this kind of stuff, and it's always hard for me to remember things when someone asks, but because so many things happen and you just kind of let them go or whatever. But yeah, that was one of my stories that I thought was supernatural, or whatever you want to believe. Nevertheless, it was odd. So that's my little story. I hope it was moderately interesting, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.